Hey guys, it's Captain Cough My Head Off. No, actually, it's Jerry here at Mighty Ray's Garage. I wanted to give you some updates on where I'm sitting on the 820 Transaxle. And I've got a couple little updates real quick before we get into the meat of the matter. So here we go. All right, working on the locker here. I've got my 3/4 inch pieces of metal there, and I've got some bolts spacing it out. I've been doing some measuring to make sure that it's true all the way around. Oops, I just moved it. Let's see if I can move it back. But it doesn't really matter, because I made an error here. It's the error is called, how am I going to weld this on a wooden piece of wood? Huh? That didn't sound right. How am I going to weld this with it sitting on a piece of wood? Well, normally I do weld on this little table. 19.2 seems to be the magic number. But anyway, back to what I was saying. How am I going to weld this on a piece of wood? Well, I'm going to have to find a piece of metal to set this thing on so I can clamp my ground so I can weld this, because there's nothing I can clamp onto. If I clamp here, I run the risk of making this not true to center. So what I'll do once I do weld it, I'll probably put a tack here really heavy and a tack here really heavy. I had to sacrifice the set screw for the key, but that'll be encapsulated inside the diff, so it's not like it's gonna walk away. But so I'm gonna probably put a heavy tack there and a heavy tack here to hold these into place, and then I'll take it out and then I'll fully weld it. All right, pardon me, sorry, I had to cough. So on my other thing I noticed, in the top half of the transaxle here, I will not be putting the grease zerk here. So I got the inspecting, and I got to check it out on my other 820 because I don't remember. There is a needle bearing on the bottom side of the, or in the open area side of this side of this shaft. There's needle bearing. Of course, you got regular bearing on the top. But if you look in there just right, they are sandwiched completely together with no space in between. So if I drilled a hole, I just drill into a bearing. So there will not be a zerk on this case half on the input. So replacing my tap and drill was kind of a waste of money at the moment, but I will need them in the future. So that's where I stand. Still need to clean up that one a little bit more. I didn't even start cleaning this half. But once I get this done, put together, put on my live axle, we'll start putting all this back together, and I need to clean the other halves of the hanger for the transaxle to put on the frame. I still need to flip the frame and finish cleaning the bottom of it and painting it. I do have some primer and some semi-gloss black to paint this where it looks like original. Well, that's where we're at right now. It's a little cold outside, but I have to do some other stuff, and I'll come back and maybe we can wrap this thing up. All right, I got a couple of tacks here. Just measured it. It's still coming out to 19 millimeters, so I'm gonna hit it with a little more weld, and then I'm gonna pull the ring out and finish welding it off. All right, I let it eat for a while. I took about 3 passes, one initial pass and one on each side, and I guess I did 4 passes, and I did one more to tie it all together. So that is like as hot as the sun. So come back, clean it up, and set it back in, make sure we didn't mess it up. All right, guys, I got my locker made. I'll show you what I got going on here. So I'll have to assemble this when I put it together. Huh? It'll go on. Here's my hub. Oh. Here. I'll show you this on the table first. Basically, we got one end. The bowl gear locks in the lip. Here's my little hub locker. There's the part that goes on top. And it'll basically go somewhere in there. Maybe a little further. And that will be locked. But actually it'll go the other way around. It depends on how the transmission's laid out. But I still need to clean the case. As soon as I get the case cleaned up, all this will go in there. And like I said, yeah, this will turn right now. I just need to put my key in there, and that'll keep that from turning. I will run that set screw down when I know where it needs to be. But there you got it. All locked up, be ready to go. Just need to clean up the transaxle and put it all back together. And I also need to clean up and paint my axle hangers and clean up and paint the underside of the frame. Next time we're back, maybe all that'll be together. All right, guys, got Bear the garage dog. Bear-boo. Hi, buddy. Anyway, I've started working on the transaxle, putting my new stainless hardware through. This one will come back out. I forgot, the bottom half of the case is not threaded all the way down. It's just long enough for these bolts. But it does have a hole that comes out the bottom. There's still about 1/8 of an inch not tapped in the bottom of that. So I'm running my tap through that. So now I've got an extra 1/8 of an inch grab. I haven't put the nuts on the bottom sides yet. There are some holes you have to use the original bolts, or a bolt like the original, like these right here, because the bottoms are not open. They're part of the brake, depending on which side your transaxle had it on. So these 4 bolts have to have an original bolt. I could finish tapping that one out because that hole does go all the way through, but I usually go ahead and use the original bolt in there as well. You can't see it because I can't get my well, I guess I could, but we'll see. We'll come back to that. I didn't know if my tap would go that deep, but I guess it will. So continuing on, I'm gonna go around and finish putting these stainless bolts through. I gotta cut out this hole still, this hole, these 2 holes, 2 up front, and this one here. I'll come back in just a moment when I've got all those bolts in. All right, guys, I got the transaxle buttoned up. You can see I've got the nuts on the bottom. I was not able to put a nut on that, but I did go ahead and tap it on through and put one of the new bolts in there. That way I have the extra 1/8 of an inch of threads. And I just got them around on all the holes that come to the bottom. All right. And then there's all the bolts on top. It's ready to go. And there's the one down in there. I lost my little snap ring for the top of this. So I can put the pulley on it. I just can't lock it in because I don't know what I did with it. But you can see I was talking about needing to file it down. It comes on and off pretty easy now. Just need the little snap ring, and you can see there's enough area there. You can see the transaxle's moving. It's in gear. Everything seems to be pretty smooth. Everything's working. I just need to pull my vent hose out, or my nipple forming vent hose, fill it with some gear oil, and ready to slap it in. I'm getting ready to put, let's see, over here amongst all this junk. My hubs. I was going to see, about right there is stock width of the tractor. So I do have a good 5 inches left on the end. I'm probably going to go ahead and kick them out to about right here. But there you go. I'll probably make some covers for that axle. Or I might just reuse the stock ones. There we go. There's the stock one. There's the stock width. What I have been doing is cutting a piece of PVC and putting in here. So we'll see how that goes. I'll probably put the PVC in there because I like that, because it doesn't rust and it rides really well on the bearing inside. It's the same outer diameter as the inner race of that bearing. But the 820's done. Now I'm probably going to focus back onto the frame. I've already got my one cross member for footrest done. I'll bolt it up because this design's a little different than, say, like cow. I think it goes about right here. But as you can see, it's a pipe that has it arches, where like cow, it was a piece of flat stock I got going across. So that'll be different. I'm going to do the monolink. Here's the brackets. I think I'd like to get some new hardware for that, but they're ready to go on. Just need that lock ring or a snap ring up there. I'm gonna put these over here for now. They've been cleaned up and they're ready to go on the transaxle. So that gives, like I said, now it's time to start working on the frame, because it's right now a tool shelf. So anyway, it's glad to be feeling a whole lot better. I've only coughed a couple times today. Lot of work got done this weekend with the transaxle. Actually, it's right here, right there. So like I said, need to start working on the frame. I got maybe finished off the transaxle, putting the hubs on. But like I said, it's good to be feeling better again and working on this thing. I think I am going to go ahead with the monolink, because I really enjoy the monolink. I think it's very robust and very sturdy for what I like to do. But I've already got a couple little tie rods here that I'm going to actually use as probably a panhard bar. I was also going to mention that it's like, I think the last time I looked, it was 23 degrees outside, but it's like 65 in the garage, thanks to the little Big Buddy heater. And now that I've used it for an extended period of time, there was some questions in my Big Buddy heater video. Does it smell? Does it make an odor in the air? Now, the more it's run, the less I can smell of it. I can hardly even smell it today, and I can actually smell today. So, very, very little smell, but you got to like leave the room and come back to notice it. Once you've been out here in it for a while, it you can't smell it. So there's the answer to that question. But say bye, Garage Dog. He wants to lick his paws instead. So I'm going to end this video here, and like I said, let's keep continuing on, and hopefully by, I'm not even going to put a date out there because last time I did I got sick. But start working on the frame. I need to get some materials because I am out of steel to make the monolink. But anyway, we'll catch you later.